Do you want to create puzzle feed Canva templates that you can sell in your own Etsy shop? Canva templates that are selling right now by other Etsy shop owners? In this tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you how to create an Instagram puzzle feed Canva template that ends up looking just like this one. This is a design that I created using a basic Canva template, a Canva template that I will be sharing with you and gifting you in this video. So if you want to know how you can get your hands on that Canva template so you can start selling Instagram puzzle feed Canva templates just like this one, then be sure to stick around all the way to the end. Hi, my name's Alicia, and here I like to share tips, tricks and tutorials on how you can create a passive income online selling digital products on Etsy. In today's video, I'm going to be running through a tutorial, this is a demonstration, on how to create an Instagram puzzle post feed template. So this is a Canva template that you could potentially sell in your own Etsy shop. Now, I've had quite a few people ask me, what kind of Canva templates could I actually sell in my Etsy shop? What kind of templates are, customers actually searching for? And what are customers actually buying? Now, in my own Etsy shop, I do sell these. I have just a handful of these Instagram puzzle post feed templates, and they do sell well. So if you are unaware of what a puzzle post feed template is, essentially it's just one graphic. So this is one graphic that you'll create in Canva that then gets split up into sets of either 12 or even 9 posts that can then be added to someone's Instagram feed, and then when added in a chronological order, it'll end up looking like something like this. Okay, so essentially these are just squares, so a square here, a square here, a square here, and then once they're uploaded, you end up having a feed that looks quite aesthetic, I guess you could say, and cohesive, and it just feels really good to look at. So today I'm going to be running through how you can create something similar to this and then go ahead and sell it in your own Etsy shop. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and head on over to Canva, and before you go ahead and choose any template, what I want you to understand is that because we are splitting up this template, we're going to be doing a set of 9 Instagram feed templates here. So essentially, because we're splitting that into 9 segments, so what we want to do is create a large space and then split that into 9 different segments. So if we're thinking about Instagram post feed templates, just a single post, the dimensions for those are 1080 by 1080 pixels. So if we wanted to create 9 of those in a box, we need a template that is 3240 by 3240. So let's go ahead and create that now, and then as I start this, you'll understand how it's all going to work out. So just go ahead to the create a design button here in the top of your Canva account. And then where it says custom size, let's go ahead and click on that. So we want the width to be, like I said, 3240 by 3240. Okay, and then go to create a new design. Now, before you get started on any design that you want to sell on your Etsy shop, the first thing you want to think about is what kind of design you want to create. So before you even get started with your design, perhaps create a mood board or a brand board of all the elements and photos and colors and even fonts that you would like to use within your template. That way it makes it easier for you to come in and start designing straight away. But for this example, I'm just going to run through just a quick design with you, just so you get an understanding on how you could create the puzzle feed. Okay, so the first thing you want to make sure is that you've got your ruler and guides set up. So to do that, all you need to do is go to File, and here where it says Show Rulers, make sure that that is ticked, and then Show Guides and make sure that is also ticked, okay? So what we want to do is we want to split this up into 9 different segments. The easiest way to make sure that your dimensions are correct here is by actually adding in, which will eventually get deleted, but adding in a frame. And this frame is going to have the perfect sizing of 1080 by 1080 squares. So to do that, just go to Elements and then head on down to where it says Frames. Oh, sorry, not frames, we want a grid. So let's go ahead and scroll down to grids and just open that one up. And what we're looking for is a grid that's split up into 9, so 3 by 3. So just scroll down until we get down to the bottom here. Okay, here we go. So just right here, you know, towards the middle, actually it's more towards the end of your grid layouts. So we've got 3 by 3. So all you need to do is just click that once and it's going to import it into our design. So now we've got our template split up into 3 by 3, so we've got 9 Instagram posts here. So now what you want to do is you want to use these rulers to now put in grid lines, and this is so that we can get a better understanding of eventually when this is split up, you know, where it's going to be cut into different sections. So that way we can ensure that our elements are centered to the post, our text is centered to the post, things like that. So to do that, to add in guides, all you need to do is just click once on the ruler and then drag down. And you're going to see how this purple line comes up. All you want to do is just match it up with each line here within the grid. Okay, so just drag and then drop. And then we want to do this on this side as well. So we want to drag and drop and then drag and drop. And once you've got those lines, they don't have to be exactly perfect. So all we want to do now is we don't need this grid anymore. So let's go ahead and just delete that. So either click up here or press your delete button. There we go. So now we have this base, I guess you could say, is split up, or we've got guidelines for 9 different posts. Okay, so now that we've got our grid lines set up, let's go ahead and start adding in some elements to create our design. So what I like to do is just exit out of grids here. And like I mentioned, if you have already created like a brand board or a mood board for this, go ahead and start adding elements from that into your design. But like I said, I'm just doing this on the spot. Okay, so let's go ahead and find some graphics. So what we want to do is here where it's got graphics, let's go ahead and click on that. And then we want to perhaps search for a certain type of graphic. Now in this design, I would like to use organic shapes. As you can see, I've already typed in that, but let's go ahead and just type that in here, organic shapes, and then hit the enter button. Now we want to make sure that we are only using free graphics and elements and images within our design, because not all of your customers that purchase this template are going to have access to a Canva Pro account. To ensure that you are only using free elements, what you could do is you could search through each of these and just, you know, check to see which ones say free. As you can see, all of these here say pro, this one says free. But in order to narrow it down, it's easier just to go to your toggle bar at the top here, scroll all the way down, and where it says free, just click on that and then go apply filters, and then it's going to narrow down all of your search. So you're going to have organic shapes and you're going to have all of your free items that you can use here. As you can see, some of these are animated elements. I would also go ahead and take it one step further and say, I only want static images and graphics. So let's go again and apply filters. So now we're going to have only static graphics here. All you would do then is just go through and search for the, the graphics and elements that you think would go well with this design. So I'm just going to scroll through and just choose a few elements here and then start adding them to my design. So for example, if I scroll down, I kind of like this here. So it's got kind of like a scratchy two-tone effect. I'm going to go ahead and add that image in. Now, when you are designing a puzzle feed template, after designing a few and seeing what works and what doesn't, the key is to ensure that you're not cutting off any elements on the top or the bottom of your feed. It doesn't matter if they cut off on the sides here, but when you start cutting them off on the top, as your customer adds more and more of these feed templates to their Instagram account, these won't match up with the bottom. Does that make sense? So yeah, just keep that in mind when you are designing. Another thing you want to think about is that to make this interesting and to make it, I guess, a puzzle feed template, the key is to overlap these elements into different squares. So instead of just designing within each square like that, for example, what you want to do is you want to overlap them over multiple squares, and it kind of gives it, you know, this really interesting and really great feel to the feed. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose a few more elements here. The great thing about these type of elements is that you can actually change the colors. So if you had a certain you know, color theme or color palette in mind, go ahead and change those to suit. I'm just going to stick with what's here already. I can always change it up later. Here's another one. Let's go ahead and choose this here. Maybe we'll add this one down to the bottom. Sometimes you'll actually get recommendations too of what else you can use within this theme. Let's go ahead and scroll down, see what else we can use here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pick a few more things, and then I'll just speed up this process to show you what I've come up with in the end. Okay, so once you're happy with the design, next you want to start adding in some additional elements. I like to add in frames where people can add in their own images, and I also like to add in text. So to do that, I want to create some frames that have a more organic feel, similar to the elements that I'm using here. So to do that, let's just close off of that search. And then let's go down to where it says frames. So here where we've got frames, and just alongside the text here where it says frames, I'm going to type in organic and then hit the enter, and then we'll see what comes up. Okay, so if we scroll down here, we've got a couple of frames here that have that organic feel to it. Let's see, and there's just a couple more down here. Now we can see that these are all free, so these are great to use within our design. So I'm just going to go ahead and start adding them, and I'm going to add it to every second post, and then I'm going to have text in between. So let's go ahead and add this first one, and then what you want to do is just resize it and then make sure that it fits within the square. So we want to make sure that there's a bit of space in between, like so. Let's go ahead, and if you need to, just go ahead and zoom in here just to make it a little bit easier to see what you're doing. So let's go ahead and scroll up. So we're going to add that one in there. Let's go ahead and add this one here to the other corner. And then just keep going until you've got every second post has a frame within it. But by all means, do whatever you like. If you feel like you want to only have, you know, these frames within the center, you can do that. Or if you only want to have maybe one or two, you know, it's up to you. You got to do what you think is visually appealing and what you think your customer will like. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then I'll show you once it's all done. Okay, so now that we've got our frames in here, what I like to do is just go ahead and search for some free images. If you feel like things might need to be changed around to suit your frames, go ahead and do that. So for example, I want to just perhaps move this one out a bit like so, maybe make it a bit smaller. So just adjust anything that you feel like you might need to in order to make it look more appealing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and search for some images here. So you can, again, go into the search bar here if you know what kind of images that you would like to find, or you can go down to where it's got photos here and just go ahead and start searching for some photos. Again, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are searching by free photos. So just make sure that when you are scrolling across each photo here that it's saying free, and it looks like all of these are free for now. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start adding some of these images in here. Try and keep them so that they're all kind of matching and they all fit in within the design. You want to try and make this as you know, appealing as possible for your customers. So just go ahead and start dragging in some of these images. You can double click to resize like so that they fit within the actual frame a little bit better. Let's go ahead and pick some more images here. Okay, once you've got your images in place, obviously your customer will be changing out these images to suit their own brand or style. So this is just so that your customers can get a bit of an example of what they could potentially be creating. Now, what I want to do is in between these frames, I also want to add in some text. So just go ahead to the text button here. Now you can easily add in your text by clicking here at the top and then just adding text. But I like to add like a quote kind of text. Now all of these fonts can be changed and edited to suit your customer's brand, but I feel like this font, I guess, goes with the aesthetic of this design. So let's go ahead and add this one in here, and then let's go ahead and drag it to the square that we would like to add it to. Then drag it out. Let's go ahead and scroll in so I can see what I'm doing here. And then what you could do, I guess, is you could put in the brackets here, add in your quote or caption here, something like that. And then client name, like, or quote or testimonial, let's put here. Okay, cool. Now I would go ahead and change this font text color. At the moment it's black. Let's try and match it to our design palette here and color palette. So perhaps maybe like a deep blue. That looks good. And then let's change this to that. Okay, perfect. And then let's scroll out again so we can have a look to see what that looks like. If you like, you can perhaps increase the text size here to make it bigger so it stands out a little bit more, and then go ahead and then just copy and paste this into each individual box here that we've got free. So let's go ahead and paste that again, pop it down here again, and pop it down here. Okay, so as you can see, we have created a really great looking puzzle feed template that you could potentially sell in your Etsy shop, or you could even use for yourself. Now, before you go ahead and start selling this template as is, what I like to do is I actually like to duplicate this exact page so that essentially there's two of them. The reason why I like to do that, I'm going to show you right now. Let's go ahead to where it says duplicate, and I want you to duplicate that. So we've essentially got two of them. So when the customer goes ahead and starts editing these, and when they start adding it to their Instagram feed, you can see here, so let's say that if this was in chronological order, this is what their first 9 feeds would look like. And if we scroll down, this is what the second 9 feeds would look like. And as you can see here, can you see how we've got a frame on top of a frame and a text on top of a text? Essentially, what we want to do is we want to just switch everything over. That way, this customer can use it over and over and over again without it ever bumping into this kind of design flaw where you've got frame, frame, text, text. So to do that, all I like to do is just go ahead and delete one of their frames here and then move the text over to this side and then move this frame over to this side and then keep going until you've done the whole entire page. Okay, easy. That way, you know, your customer's feed will look really, really good. It's just taking that one extra step to ensure that you're creating a quality product for your customers. So instead of just offering your customers 9 of these feeds, so these individual post templates, now you're actually giving them 18. Okay, so it's just taking that extra step to ensure that you're creating a quality product. If you like, you can go ahead and maybe move some of these elements to make it a little bit different. You could add in different images here to show that your customer could select different images, change up the colors, change up the text in here. So do whatever you feel that you need to do in order to, I guess, push the sale over the line. Okay, once you have created this, this is essentially all you would be selling to your customer. You don't need to go any further steps. You don't need to save it as a PNG or anything like that. You don't need to split up the template because that is what your customer will be doing. So all you would need to do is just rename your template here. So I would call this puzzle feed Canva template, perhaps give it a name for the design. So, and then design name here. Whoops, if I spell puzzle right, there we go. And then all you would do is you would go here to where it says share, click on that button, and then go down to where it says share a link to edit. Let's go ahead and go to share a link to use as template. Then we would be copying this link, and then that is the link that we would be adding to our PDF deliverable that gets sent to our customer once the purchase has been made. Okay, so those are the steps that you need to take to design, create, and share the template that will eventually be purchased by your customer. Now, I just want to show you an example of the types of information that you would include within your PDF deliverable to ensure that your customer is receiving all the information that they need in order to split up this template and then use it and eventually post it to their own Instagram feed. So I've just got open here the exact PDF deliverable that I send with my own templates. So the very first page is a thank you for making the purchase. Just below that, I've got information on how to access your template. Then a third page is information about how to use Canva, just in case we've got a Canva newbie on our hands and they need a little bit of help on how to use the platform or the design application. And then we go into the details on how to edit the puzzle layout so that they can edit it for their own liking, for their own brand. And then the fifth page here, I've actually got a screenshot of how you would end up splitting up the template. So in order to add it to your Instagram feed. And then we've got another page here that explains how to slice up the puzzle in order to create those individual images that get posted to the Instagram feed. So I've got here, you want to save the template as a PNG, and then you want to split the image. In this case, it's a 12 image Instagram feed layout. So how to split it up into 12, and I've actually posted the app that I like to use, which is called Grid Post, and it's an iPhone app. And this here is a link so that the customer can download it if they don't have it. And then how they can potentially schedule the posts or how to actually add each individual post to their template so that it ends up looking like the end design that we have created. And then the very last page obviously is the link in order to download the template. So if we go back to our template here and we went to that share button here where it says share a link to use as a template, we copied that link. So what I would do is I would go here and then click on this button that I created and then add the link here to that button so that the customer can click on that button and then go ahead and download that puzzle feed template. So essentially, let's go ahead and paste in that share link just to show you what the customer will end up with. So this is what the customer will end up with. And then all they need to do is use the template to start using it. Okay, so I really hope that you found that this tutorial was helpful for you today. Now, if you want to go ahead and get your hands on the basic template that you can use to create something similar to what I have created today, all you need to do is you need to sign up for the Etsy Sellers Community and Market Hub. Now, I will leave a link in the description box below so you can sign up for a free account. You can register for a free account. And within this Etsy Sellers Hub, I have a whole heap of goodies that you can download and look into to help you build a successful business on Etsy. Let's just go ahead and jump on over to the Etsy Sellers Hub now. So once you have logged in or you sign up, this is the page that you're going to see. So in order to get access to that Instagram puzzle feed template, all you need to do is just jump on over to this very first page here. So you just want to where it says click here, go ahead and click here. So just make sure it says Instagram puzzle feed Canva template. Click on that button, and then it's going to open up a new page. And then here is where you can access the actual Canva template. So just scroll all the way to the bottom, and here where it says access the template, just click here. So go ahead and click on that, and then it's going to open you up to the page where you can go ahead and use and share this exact template. So all you want to do is just go ahead and open that. So where it says use template, open that one up, and then go ahead and start designing your puzzle feed template, similar to the one that I've created here today. Okay, I really do hope that this was helpful for you today, and I will catch you in the very next video. Okay, bye for now.